Hello and welcome everyone. So today we are gonna talk about this is our first virtual session of Women in IT group this year for 2025. So thanks Manju for joining. And the topic, I love the topic, supercharge your QA career with the AI powered test automation tool. So very empowering, very exciting topic, and I hope to learn as much as you guys here. So just quickly introducing Manju. She's an amazing person. She's working in this industry for more than 12 years, like in the as a QA, but even longer overall her career. She's a QA lead, and she's responsible for driving test automation, quality team, delivery management, and handling releases of various projects. Um, so she's a superwoman in short. She has a strong background in Cucumber Selenium, BDD frameworks, SAP testing, and telecom OSS, BSS testing, among other things. And needless to say, she is well experienced on AI powered tools. So thanks once again, Manju, for this session. Before I hand over to you, I just want to say to everyone, thanks for joining. If you're watching it on YouTube, that's fine. I think a chat will open soon. Otherwise, we have a chat on Messenger where you can put your questions. So we will take the questions at the end. We'll let Manju present her content. For people who are in the StreamYard studio, you can put your comments. For people who are on YouTube, either put there, or if there's no YouTube chat coming, put it on the Messenger. And I'll be monitoring the chat and I'll try to bring everyone's questions. But if we run out of time, I'll still pass those questions to Manju so she can take them offline. Yeah. All right. Over to you, Manju. Thanks.
Sure. Let me share my screen. You guys can confirm if you guys are able to see my full screen. And you should be seeing a slide as an intro slide, yeah? Yeah, hope you guys are able to see my screen. Isha.
Yes, we can see.
Okay,
Yes.
sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me to Women in IT Australia. I know this is a amazing super power ladies are there in this group, and I'm really happy to join. And this month being and where we just went for International Women's Day, and this is going to be Women's Month, and all the month are us. But I think this is really super special, where I'm happy to present on the topic Supercharge your QA career, learn an AI powered test automation tool today, right? So if I have to take a count of people in QA, right, it is the first entry point. Like if anybody wants to enter IT, they see testing and QA as a first entry point because that is where they get hold of a functional thing that you can learn, and slowly they move to DevOps and then they become developers, right? If you want to start your career in IT, so I always suggest QA and testing is the best place. And let me first give you an intro about myself. And I'm Manju. As Isha said, I have 15 plus years of experience in software testing. I've worked in startups as well as MNC. I'm based out of Sydney. I've been a test engineer. I've progressed to test lead. I've been a quality manager and delivery teams handling delivery of different releases. And I've handled both manual and automation. I've worked in multiple domains that include Salesforce, SAP, telecom, and even real estate recently. And I have implemented both tool based and framework based automation. And I have transformed successfully many functional test team to automation team. Right. And if I have to talk about what qualifies me to give this session about Copado, which is the AI powered tool that I'll be showing at an end, I have won a recent award for my organization whom I worked before, Propic. I have won them a Copado Robotic Testing Innovation Award in 2023. And I'm a Copado champion. I'm 6 cross Copado certified. And yeah, so like where we have a good Copado community, which I'll be like no definitely showing you at the end. If you guys are interested, definitely I ask you guys to join our community. So this would be our agenda for today, where first we'll talk about the state of Salesforce testing, software testing, where we are, how the testing industry is, and then we'll move on to codeless test automation. I'll give you an introduction about an AI, what are all the challenges that we are facing in QA, how we can overcome that by using AI, and key differences between your traditional framework based automation. For the people who have worked in testing, they would know that automation consists of either framework based or a tool based automation. We'll analyze some pros and cons, and I'll also introduce you to the major test automation player we have in the industry. There are a lot of people who offer this solution for us, and I'll show you a demo. There is no fun in any presentation without a demo, so definitely all my presentations everywhere will have a demo. And finally, we'll take some Q&A from your side. Right, so let's get into the topic, where first we see what is the state of testing today. First thing is the lack of testing. If you see, as you move towards your production, the more delay you find your bug, the cost of repair is going to increase, right? So if you can see this graph excellently shows us that as you move towards your production, your cost of repair is going to increase, and percentage of defects found in each stage. If you can see here, mostly this 85% of defects can be found in coding stage, and then it moves to unit test, functional test, and system test. Right, so defect found in the later stage are definitely more expensive to resolve. So it is good that we find bugs as early as possible. That is good, right? And then the second one is about the traditional manual testing is definitely costly, and it can slow down delivery, because at the end of the day it is humans who are going to do the testing, and there are chances that some important things may be overlooked. And if you see the cost saving, that when you implement an automation in your testing, definitely you are going to save much cost in your overall testing process, because especially the regression suits are automated, you will have a high quality releases at the end of the day, where the end production bugs are reduced, right? So the whole purpose or the idea of this is the showing the importance of automation, how crucial it is, right? So we'll get into some survey results. So I always love survey results. I like to see how this industry works, what it shows. So I've got some interesting survey results for you guys. And so this was a question that was asked to them. How are companies testing today? Right? So 64% of people answered that they still chiefly relying on manual testing. 84 people partly rely on manual testing, and only 10 percentage of the team, right? So can you believe this? It's only overall, though we talk so much about automation, it's only the 10 percentage of the teams have automated all of their testing. And this is a actual survey report where it is published with reference to Gartner report as well. I have shared the references at the end. We move on further, asking the companies who is primarily responsible for testing at your company, right? So 49% of people answered that they have a full-time in-house testing team with them, right? And 26% said that no, we don't want to take the headache of testing. We want to outsource it to like either third party or their own teams, offshore teams. And 23% have people said that testing is done by developers. With people who have worked with developers, we like as a tester, if you ask me, I'll be not really confident of this statement where a testing is primarily done by developers. But yeah, so this is how it is. Then we move on to the next survey question. Very important question. Do you have enough time to test all the changes before each release? Which is very important, because what you are going to offer in production, have you tested all of that? 52% of people say yes, all planned testing is done on time for each release. 41% people say no, due to time constraint, we often have to reduce the scope of testing. I think whoever in testing would have faced this situation very often, that during the release, it would be the we get the pressure at the end, the testing team, where you have so many things to test, then you will not have time to test. So that's what this shows. We don't have time, and yeah, obviously we have other 8% is not applicable. So what are we going to infer from this survey results? Key findings are 41% of team don't have time to test every change before each release. 92% experience production issues due to inadequate testing. I think this is really a nightmare for any testers or even developers, that when they get production issue, it is happening. It is still happening in the industry, and we do encounter it daily. 84% still partly rely on manual testing, and 51% have 25 plus full-time QA resources, and 95% is higher total cost of ownership for manual testing versus commercial test automation. So all of this shows that automation can definitely bring in higher quality, and we'll see how it is going to do that for us. And definitely manual testing is prone to errors, right? So what are the advantages of shifting from manual to automation, right? So 58 percentage fewer production failures per year, which means that my product quality is going to be the best in production. 50% more frequent releases, which means that you can cater more features to your customers and customers from product. 50% more likely to complete testing for each release, which is definitely a good satisfaction and a good what do you call it, like a quality parameter for the product. 50% lower total cost of ownership, right? So if you ask me what is the benefit for me as a tester if I shift from manual to automation testing, ease the pressure for testers not to do incomplete testing, avoid manual errors during testing, and reliable test results, because a tool will not lie, right? If it is not there, it's going to say no. There is no way that the issue can be in the tool. Avoid dependency. This happens when you are in a management or where I have managed my teams. I see that a person who is supposed to give a test status may go on leave, right, all of a sudden, and then we all will be wondering what happened to the testing that what he has done yesterday. So when you have this automation thing up and running, you need not depend on your team or your person or your tester to give you a status. You yourself can go and check the status, and we'll see how can we do that in automation as well. So overall, these are all the benefits of shifting from manual to automation for the organization and for from QA for ourselves. Yeah. So we move on further. So now that we know automation is the key, right? And automation is the future always. There is no way that now you can still rely on manual testing back. Now we'll see how this automation started, where it started, what are all the generations quickly. Where first generation one, where you had to record and play back, right? Like Selenium, IDE, QFT. I'm talking about an old people who are there in the industry for a long time will remember this record and playback feature. Generation 2, where you started use and reuse, it's a modularity or a data driven, where you feed a different data as in CSV and then your test will execute. Generation 3, which is action keyword scripts, keyword driven, where you write a keyword, it will be like something like a type text, and where you have a Selenium code or your like an automation code in the backend to trigger that event for you. Generation 4 is hybrid framework or behavior driven, where you combine multiple frameworks. For example, you can combine BDD with TDD kind of frameworks. Fifth generation is little bit more with respect to driver based framework, modular, Selenium, TestNG, Playwright, all of this, which is making us Cypress, right, which is making our things a bit easier. I'm going to talk about the sixth generation, which is AI driven full stack test automation. It is self-healing, it is auto-generating, right? I think with AI getting implementation everywhere, and now you know that there is everybody is looking for the tag AI, right? All the product, all the testing, all the developers, everybody want to get ahead of the competition here about like how can we you better use AI and how can we make our life easier. So I'm going to talk about the sixth generation, and let me talk you through about the difference between what I was showing with the first five generation and the sixth one, right? So if I have to talk about test authoring, it would be in traditional style, or I'm talking about a framework based here, where you will have to define as a QA or as an SDET, you will have to define a manual flows, whether it is what framework it is, and then you'll have to write code, you'll have to write reusable function, which language is the best one to use because each framework can support multiple languages, define object, page object model, use object spy, structured page based test steps, define visual validation, assertion. Definitely, if you see all of this, it definitely takes a longer time to develop and it is complex. You need a person who knows all of this to do this. But if you take ML based or this AI powered automation, record test flows, there is no coding in most of the cases, or it is low code. Groups reusable function, object is generated on the fly. You will not even know that there is a thing going on at the back end, but you will have your automation done in the front end. Flow based scenarios are also supported, and then you will have to you will have to tweak your scenarios accordingly for test recording or authoring whatever you want to assert. And definitely it is a shorter time and advanced capabilities, right? That's what we are going to see at the end as well. And if I have to go to the next module compared to framework, test maintenance. This is the most challenging thing in test automation. With the applications that keeps changing, are you maintaining or are you updating your automation scripts? Somebody has to proactively keep it checking, right? Or even the person should know that there is a change in the application that are coming, because this happens in a larger project. When you work, I've seen one person would be doing an automation test and he will not be aware of the another feature that is changed, and that is going to affect his automation, right? So he would be having definitely a failure in his script running, and we'll have to tell him, we'll have to educate him, telling that no, there is a change that has come in the latest feature and you'll have to change your automation. So that maintenance is a very crucial part in automation. So we'll have to do that manually in traditional based. But if you take an automation, if you take an AI powered, it is self healing. It automatically shows you that there is a change in your application. You just need to go click and accept it. Yeah. Then if you move on to test execution, again here you will have to configure environment, execute locally or CI/CD or cloud. There everything is built in. It is tool is handling everything for you, right? And test analysis, it is flexible. You have this out of shell support commercial, and this relies on AI tool for most of the cases. And I would say maturity wise, the framework is definitely high. It has includes a lot of guidelines and docs. This is definitely an emerging technology, but now this is also equally high maturity is getting developed, and you have a lot of community support here. Integrations, yes, you have a plenty of integrations here also. All of the integrations are possible, but it's all built in. Test skill set, I think this is very important thing, which you definitely need to know your coding language medium to high. You will have to know about how and framework from to develop it from the scratch. What is the best standard? What are all the best coding standards? Are you really taken the right framework for your application? But here it is going to be a low to medium skill set, because the tools, once you are know that your application can be automated using this tool, definitely there is a lot of scope that you need not invest much in terms of decision making, right? And then the testing environment, this is going to be your IDE. Here it is all going to be the tool UI. And testing types, this can support API load, functional. Here also you can use mostly all of the functional and now API. And even I have seen a lot of performance tools that are coming up, right? And app types, you have all app types that are supported in framework based, and here it is mostly web. But now they do have some connectors, extra connectors, that which you can add and you can run your all the types of application. So this slide that summarizes between the traditional framework based automation versus the AI powered test automation. What is the each point of testing and how do we differ here? Right. I'll move on to the next one, which is now the software testing. I'll have to just touch upon AI because we are going to do further. All of the slides are going to be about AI, and this presentation is about AI. There are two types of things in software testing. One, I'm testing AI, right? It's an AI product I'm testing. So that is an AI model validation where you will have to check data quality, bias detection, and model accuracy and reliability. This is an upcoming testing, and there is a much demand for this in the market in terms of have you done AI testing, right? Have you tested a product that has AI capabilities? And the second one, what we are going to talk in this part, lower part, is AI in testing, right? Okay, say that you don't have AI in your product. Yours can be some existing method of application which they have not incorporated AI. So, how can you use AI in your testing, right? Which is AI powered testing. AI can be used for test execution, AI can be used with the self healing test scripts, and AI for defect detection, and AI for test case generation, AI for root cause analysis. And there is a list that I'm going to share. How can you use AI in your testing, right? So, you can be testing anything. So let us see that. I'll also show, probably I'll touch upon challenges and then how are we going to solve it using AI. I'll just go to this slide, which summarizes, right, all of these challenges, what I have shown before. I'll probably try to show you what is a solution for that. First thing, the challenges we have is agile and DevOps adoption. which means that there is a frequent changes that are coming in application, and everybody wants testing to be done faster, right? Or finish the testing faster. Either it can be the edge case detection. So the solution to that can be AI can be used for test case generation, which speeds up the creation of new test cases to match your frequent releases. So even if you don't have any paid AI model, I would suggest just go to OpenAI, give your scenarios, and just tell them that, like, tell AI that generate me all the test cases for this as a higher level. I have generated a lot of test cases using that. You cannot believe the edge cases it is trying to give us, right? So what I would suggest is, sometimes I do have a counter argument that if AI is going to do everything, test case generation and thing, what am I going to do, right? I think that is the topmost question that arises everywhere. But what I would suggest is, maybe you can do this way: first you write test cases, and then probably go to AI and ask for test case generation, and compare what is the difference and what you have missed, right? Probably that will also help us in terms of, okay, I am missing that and I need to add it. So definitely AI is like an helping tool for us. It is not, if you don't want that to replace your thinking, right? And then the second one is about the demand for frequent releases. I think this is the most common thing that happens in all the organization, that where they want to release all the features faster. And how are you going to do that? How are you going to solve that problem using AI? Is AI for a predictive test selection, where definitely you can automatically select the most critical or high risk test first, and then AI can be used for test automation and execution. That is what is this AI powered tools can do for you, which I'm going to show you. Reduces manual effort and accelerates feedback. Then another important thing is shift left and shift right testing. So shift left testing is something that where you start testing at the very early stage. It starts from requirement stage, right? A testing can, or you can start giving your quality feedback from the earlier stage, starting from requirements. And shift right is as you go towards production. So all of these challenges, you can also definitely use AI and this AI powered tool to balance it, right? So where self-healing and test automation, we just discussed, it automatically updates your scripts when the UI changes. AI powered continuous testing in CI/CD pipeline, where you write your AI test suite and you give the API call to and ask your development team to integrate this in their pipeline, so that whenever any build comes, it makes sure to run your automation test back. All of this can be done using AI powered tools and AI. The second one being the raising complexity of the user flows, right? The more and more the application we are seeing, it's getting complicated. Latest things, there are so many in your enterprise application, there are multiple integration points, talking points happens in the testing. There are a lot of chances that you miss so many things in testing, right? Where you have your third party integration. Sometimes I have faced a scenario where a third party API was silently failing in the application, and we were not able to detect that at all in our testing, and it was happening in production. We came to know after 2 days that there was a failure there. So such scenarios can happen, and you do have a global user base where people are not just using here, it's going to be somewhere, some geographical location your application is getting used. So definitely these are all challenges in testing, and how are we going to handle it? It's using AI, where you create a diverse data set and you ask AI to give you a diverse data set to handle complex or multiple integration workflows. There are some data generation AI powered tools are there, and AI for performance testing and load testing, where you have even open source and as well as paid tools which can help you detect the of how good is your application running with so many users. It simulates and it can show you. AI for chatbot and voice testing. Yes, automation testing of conversation based interface. This is a very interesting one to test. AI for predictive test selections and AI for self healing test automation. So, all of this, if you start using UI or if you start using AI, you will have all of these challenges solved. The last one being about the defect detection, bug prediction. Yes, AI can definitely help you. If it is used in a right sense with the tool, it can help you detect anomalies and predicts high risk area. It can point exactly the issues quickly for faster resolution. For security testing, if you are in that domain, it automatically scans for vulnerabilities and compliance issue. And performance and load is ensures reliability under peak loads. And finally, this continuous testing is always going to be there, where you ensure quality gates and compliance checks happens at different environments. So these are all challenges in testing and how to overcome using AI. You have either different tools available, or by you yourself can use it in open AI and start exploring these things. How do you handle these challenges? We'll get back to the AI powered test tools, that what are the next wave, right? It is going to be the sixth generation that I'm talking about. And there are so many players in the market. It's not just one that is listed here. There are more and more. Whatever, see, just I took some list and it started with around 26. It starts with the tool what we are going to see today about our tool Copado, but it also has Testim, Catalan, RunnerX, and Selenium IDE is definitely an open source. You can try anytime. Leapwork, Tosca, like UFT, Apply Tools, which is an excellent tool for a visual validation testing. Cypress with low code plugins, right? So I think people who have used, you either you should have used or come across one of these tools in your automation. So there are more and more people here. Some offer uh, free time as well, right? For example, I have seen some tools where you can go, you can use it for some time, check, do a POC, show it to a team. Like like this is how automation can work. So they do offer some free time for some time. So definitely, I suggest take any one of the tools, check which suits your application, and go and give ahead a try and see how that works for you. Right. So what I'm going to talk is about one tool now, having showing a demo, which is Copado. And these are all the benefits of Copado. What we have already seen, some top points about this is anyone can automate. You need not have any special skills to learn this. And definitely it creates the test case in minutes, and no specialized coding skills. You are new to coding, you do not know coding, it's fine. You can definitely learn automation using this. Built in functionalities are there, and self healing scripts, as we already discussed, and AI and now I'll even show you a demo where I'll not even write one line of code or even anything. I'm just going to give a prompt, AI prompt, and that can generate automation for you. Right? That's what we're going to see in the demo. And you have lot of cross platform, cross browsers, real time live testing you can do here. This is my favorite feature in this tool, where you have your application opened on the right, and the moment as you click, your script will automatically get generated here. So there are excellent benefits of this low code tool. But what are the challenges of these tools, right? Definitely, it's a cost. Nobody is going to give you for free. You need to pay for license. You need to pay for their number of users or number of robots that you want to use. Apart from it, generally for any tool, you're going to talk about a vendor lock-in, right? So where you once you select, so that is why they always say that the selection of the tool is very crucial thing decision, because the moment you get and you pay for it, you're going to get logged with that vendor for some time till you're like, no, if it doesn't suit you later, it's going to be a very tough decision to move on. So definitely that is why we always say think or even consider all of your scenarios, try a POC, make sure that it covers all of your needs, not just now but for the future, so that you can decide on which vendor you want to go. Second one is about a limits learning curve. I think this also goes with a similar thing that, okay, if AI is going to do everything, if this tool is going to handle a low code, what am I going to do? What is my learning path here? Definitely, that is a big thing to always discuss with AI as well, that it limits your learning curve. But there is one advantage what I see here is a steep learning curve for non-technical testers. If you are from a non-technical or functional background, you have not touched, then definitely this is a very good learning or a starting point for you to get into automation. Once you understand this framework, this codeless framework, when you move on to a coding framework, you can understand how that works. Only thing there, you need to write a code, but otherwise the whole structure is going to be same, and definitely it's a good starting point for anybody, right? So how are we going to mitigate this? Either do a hybrid approach. Hybrid approach, what I mean is like use framework based as well as tool based, thorough evaluation, investing in training, and yeah, definitely vendor support and collaboration is needed. So these are all the ways that you can mitigate what are the challenges that we discussed here. How are you going to mitigate it? Now, getting on to here, how this Copado thing works, right? The backbone is called robotic framework. I'll just touch upon very like one or two liners about robotic framework because it's a vast, huge subject, and I'll point you to some pages or some leads where you can learn about this robotic framework. It's very interesting. It's a open source. It has a very easy syntax, utilizing human readable keywords. Right? It will be as simple as plain English, type text, verify text, click text. Right? Anybody can understand that, and there is something called libraries that I do that does the actual implementation in the backend and testing so only thing you would be writing all of this keywords in the front end, but in the back end you will have this actual automation that is which are all done by these libraries. Keywords can be whatever we say, it's called a keywords. So that can be a standard as well as custom. Like what I said, click text, type text are all standard text that will be already defined in the libraries. But if you want, you can define your own custom keywords or your own functions, your own thing in a Python language in the backend, which you can write and you can bring in as a keyword. So there is not that this low code has absolutely no coding. There is a lot of coding that is available. If you want to get deep into this, it is as equal to a framework based automation. Right? So it is up to people like how like how much they are using it. And I would definitely suggest a keyword testing framework and this uh, to go through it. And there is a recent certification that is uh, given by this robot framework. I think last 2 weeks before they had announced this, where they are giving a certified robotic framework. So I'll definitely paste this link, and it's you will have to take a syllabus. There is a lot of very interesting information available. You can go and try ahead the certification, which is definitely going to help you for your future career. Then, if you have not seen this low code tool, which I'm talking about, Copado robotic testing, I'll show how it looks. So these are all official screenshots from them. And if you're able to see here, this is how the low code script looks, right? And this is what I told you that a live testing simultaneously with scripting. And this is a test healing I was talking about sorry, where it shows you about what it fails. So this is one part of their screenshots, and then this is how your results will come. Ignore the red part. I know red is not a good color for testing people. It's all fail. Green is for pass, but this is how it looks. It shows you a daily result telling how many test cases passed, how many test cases failed, how long it took. Do you have a recording for that? Yeah, so you can see an overall dashboard here. And then here you have an option to send these results to your team. For example, you want to daily have a check of sanity of your application, whether your application is up and running. You can configure this automation. You can set a status to be sent to the teams or Slack or Google Meet, even whatever way you prefer, or even an email to all the management stakeholders. And yeah, so this tool will automatically run that time and it'll start sending you the results. Because I think this is the first result that I wake up in the morning, I see these colors, all these beautiful results. So definitely this is a very good thing. And yeah, beautiful graphs. I think if you're in management, you would be highly interested to see this overall, how many passed, what is the daily pass, fail, skip trend, cumulative test cases that are run, daily usage. All of this comes very handy in this tool. But imagine if an SDET or if a person uh, who has to develop this reports and this UI and has to show us, right? So definitely that's going to have a lot of time and complexity. But this tool readily provides us with all of this. So these are all some screenshot, and then I'm going to show you something interesting, very interesting here, which is an AI platform, Copado AI platform. I'll show you a demo on this. This is what I'm going to show, where you have end-to-end DevOps. You have a plan agent, you have a build agent, you have a test agent, release agent, and operate agent, right? And this is a freemium. They have offered this. You can go and try register yourself, explore it yourself. They are given it for free for some time for all the people to try. I would definitely suggest go ahead and try this AI platform to see how it works, right? I can show you, I can definitely explain. So what we have seen so far is only the testing part, but this combines an end-to-end DevOps cycle. how this Copado can help you with each of the thing. Plans combines with your requirement, writing user stories, or if you give an acceptance criteria or an overview of requirement, it can beautifully generate your requirements into a user stories. Build will help for people developers to write their code based whatever it can. You can just tell them that write the code for this module, and even so many people who have started using coding like AI for their coding also will agree that AI writes beautiful code. This can help you do that. Test agent, another important thing what I'm going to show you, will generate a lot of test cases for you. It will also show you with respect to the automation scripts that you want to generate. It will give you everything, whatever you want for your testing, whatever you ask, it's going to give you that. And release is mainly for if you want to generate some documentation kind of for your release or your end users. If you give a prompt and if you give a format, it is going to do that accordingly. Last one is operate, where it comes under maintenance, issues, bugs analysis from customers. So that is for maintenance phase of the project, right? So this particular platform covers an end-to-end DevOps. And I think the final moment is there where I'm going to show you the actual application, how it looks. So this is what first it starts with your Copado robotic testing first screen. When you log in, it's going to look like this. And this is going to show you the test jobs. Give me 1 minute. So you have something called Copado Explorer. This is going to help you in your manual testing. Yeah, so here we have. This is going to help you for your manual testing, right? So you start your new exploration and there is a demo that is recorded. I can give you the link of the demo where I have shown a demo of how this works. And for example, last time I did it for a event where it can show you where I have recorded the steps. I've just started exploration and I went through application and I navigated with all of it. And you can see that it has automatically generated all these things with screenshots for us, right? So you can see so many, I think around 10 minutes I did this testing. And then I have this, see, verify that, verify this checkbox. It just generates everything. So this is like an helping tool for us in manual testing, right? And then this, you have an exploration video, what I tested in this application. If you want to see what I tested, this, I mean, if you want to see a person who has tested, you can do this. And you can also download it. You can copy a shareable link. You can export it as a PDF, share for automation review. So there are so many things that they are giving in this Copado Explorer part, which helps you in your manual testing part. Coming to automation is where here you have a test job where you can either create it an empty test job or you can create it from an accelerator or use an existing repository. They have an integration with all of these version controls. And even you can just give a job name. You can create, you can just try, say for example, test, and then you create new. You can all you decide which robot you want to use. It depends on your license. Video enabled, you want that to be there, and then you can create a new one. See, here you got this test.robot, and then once you open in your Q editor, this is what is the actual editor that we are going to write your test cases. And you can see these are, once you know your robotic framework, you will be understand this, you will be able to understand this test.robot. And suit setup is what you want to open this when you want to start your automation. Suit tear down is when the automation finishes, what is the thing that you want to do, right? Close process. So these are all automatically given here as a starter suit. Or if you say that, okay, I am new to this, I do not know, help me with this, you have something called your integration test agent. This is what I was talking about. This is integrated inside this tool. So now you can ask anything that you want to say. For example, I'm going to give you, I'll tell that, give me CRT script for login page. Let's see what it gives. I have not given much context to it. I'm just giving it a very high level, some vague question. Let us see what it's good. I think it's generates so many things here. I think let it finish. Then we'll read out what it is giving. I think this is the power of AI that what we want to demonstrate here. Let's see what it has given. I'll help you create a Copado robotic testing test case for a login page scenario. I'll create that handles a website with the username and password, right? So this is a common test case that's fundamental to many test suites. Open the browser, navigate to login page, type username, login, successful login. And you need not do anything. You just copy this and paste it. That is what it's trying to give you here, right? So I've just given a prompt and it is giving me all of this automation scripts for myself. So Copado, go to log. Only thing you will have to see, I think it is also telling what do you need to replace with your, let me expand it, replace with your actual URL, right? Type username, type password, click invalid login test. It's also helping you to automate your negative test scenario. See, let me explain the key components. Okay, that's nice. Settings section, it explains test cases, keywords used. It's also helping you explain each and everything what you need to do. Okay, password reset. Remember to never store actual production credentials in your test script. Instead, use test accounts and configure. I think this is doing wonders where it is also suggesting you the best standard practice that don't store your actual production credentials, right? I think AI is definitely smart and there is no doubt in it. And this shows one classic examples, right? I think hope you all will agree. And this is just one thing that I've shown you, but there could be a lot and lot of things, complex things that you can help. You can try testing it. It's really fun when you do all of this. And I'll just quickly show you on the AI platform that I was talking about. So this is just for testing that what I have shown you here. But there's also something about what I'm talking about this AI platform. So here you have this workspaces where you can invite and collaborate your team where everybody can work through here, right? It's not going to be like only one person you can work. And there is something called workspace. And here you have all of these documents that you can upload. Already I've tried uploading this and I've done some testing. So that is why you're able to see all of this. For example, if I have to just walk through what I have done, I have given some user story guidelines and I have asked CRT to generate back some user stories. I have written some requirement traceability matrix and I told it to generate a release notes because at the end of the test phase, you will be asked to give some documents from testing phase. So all of this, anything, or even I were done last time, one interesting thing I did was to test whatever I did from this CRT. I export from this Copado Explorer exactly right what I was showing you before manual testing. I exported this and I gave it to Copado AI platform and I can show you the results what it came last time. I told it that hmm, just give me 1 minute. Yeah, so here you can see this is the prompt that I gave, right? So leverage the insights and guidelines what I have given in the document to generate a comprehensive set of optimized manual functional test cases. And I have done some interesting use case where I am also giving it telling that tell me how a end user will be testing my application when they are in the different emotional state, right? Like they are in confusion, they are in frustration, impatient, curiosity, delightment, anxiety. So when you are testing, you can be in any of these states, right? Either you can be very happy or sometimes you're very tired. So I've given all of these emotion guidelines and I told, like I was just testing AI, whether it is able to give us that much with clarity, whether it is able to understand so much with all of these details. You will not believe this a wonderful thing that it got generated, that how end user will be testing our application when they are in the different states of emotion, right? You can see the results here. So like confusion based test cases, frustration based test cases, right? Impatience. And it did not stop here. I also said that generate CRT scripts for the same. It started generating all of the scripts now. Only thing is like now what I need to do, I need to copy this, go to my CRT and then run it. So your automation is done, your manual testing is done. Everything is done in few minutes using this AI, right? So this is what I had in my demo, and then I'll just summarize it. Finally, one few final points would be, if I have to give you an actual real life analogy, right, how it looks. Framework based automation, it is like cleaning by hand, right? Yeah, I love to do it. I have full control. I can clean nook and corner of my house, right? But it requires time and physical effort. It requires careful attention, right? But if I have to use a codeless automation, it's a simple like a using of a RoboVac, where ease of use, you set it, you forget it, minimal effort required, just clean. Any place it doesn't clean, you can go and clean it later. I would suggest this is definitely a layman comparison for framework based and our AI powered automation tool based, right? And definitely it is user friendly, and people without special skills can definitely start using it. So these are the references that I've taken for all of my presentations so far, with respect to my survey results, with respect to the Copado robotic testing. So there are multiple references that I did. And finally, I'd like to, if you want to learn this AI powered automation tool, I would suggest you definitely register yourself using an email ID in success.copado.com. Go to Academy, go to certification trails, and it's free. The whole content is free, and then the certification is free. And definitely this will help you if you're looking for a career in testing. And as a token of appreciation and love, I'd like to give this $250 USD certification voucher, which you can use this. So your final your exam payment fees will be waived. You can definitely take a screenshot of this. It is CRT for Copado robotic testing certification. And then there is one more certification. If you're interested in DevOps, there is something called Fundamental One certification in Copado. So if you use this code, you will be getting waived off from your fees that you want to pay. Right. I think that's it from me. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's connect in LinkedIn, and feel free to ping me if you have any questions anytime about testing or Copado, or you want to learn anything from your testing career. I'm definitely there to help.
Thank you, Manju, and amazing. I was like the voucher was surprising for me as well. Thank you for sharing that. So, is it valid for some days?
It is
Is it
valid till this year end. Usually they give it till year end. Yeah, till December it is valid.
Okay, so I think I would say everyone just go make best use of it, and once you have that that certification, and add it with Manju's knowledge and do some testing, build some automated test cases. Um, Thank you. I don't see any questions here. Everyone, I have actually shared a small feedback form. If you open it, it will just take you 1 minute. There's lot of radio buttons. Like it's only 4 questions, anyways. If you could give that feedback, that would be amazing for us to get to know what type of content you are looking for, and our speakers also want to know whether it was useful or not. So please do that, and thanks for joining in. You have Manju's LinkedIn. She just shared the LinkedIn and her QR code. This session should stay live on our YouTube channel, so you can come back and refer to it anytime. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.